firing hypersonic weapons, flying at supersonic speeds of Mach 2.5, jamming enemy fighter communications, flying semi-autonomously and performing 87 billion computer functions per second are all attributes reported to be achievable by the emerging U.S. Air Force F-15X plane, built by Boeing. Earlier this year, the Air Force awarded Boeing a $1.2 billion production deal to build and deliver the first 8 F-15X planes, the first 2 of which are expected to arrive next year. The remaining 6 are expected by 2023, an Air Force report said. Described by the Air Force as a two-seat fighter with U.S.-only capabilities, the F-15X is intended as a next-generation variant of the combat-tested, 1980s-era F-15 fighter. While still a fourth-generation aircraft, developers argue that the plane's new adapted technologies and upgradability make it a viable, lethal, high-threat environment-capable attack platform. Boeing developers told that the outer mold line of the new F-15X variant is similar to the legacy aircraft with some upgraded modifications strengthening the wing and fuselage. Fly-by-wire flight controls naturally increase the degree of onboard computer processing and autonomy-enabling technologies, and the aircraft is reported to contain massive avionics upgrades to include an integrated 10 inches by 19 inches digital touchscreen display. Much of this is made possible through the integration of a new onboard computer system reported by Boeing experts to be capable of performing 87 billion functions per second. This emerging computer technology is also being leveraged to support a mission data file system, a threat library of information incorporating threat-specific data. The system, described by Boeing experts as of particular relevance to electronic warfare, can draw upon incoming sensor information, bounce it off a database of known threats and identify particular enemy targets such as a Russian enemy fighter jet. Other attributes or performance enhancements built into the F-15X include more thrust and an increased weapons carrying capability which places 2 new weapons stations further out on the wings. The F-15X can now carry 12 missiles as well as elements of its standard arsenal to include the AIM-120D, AIM-9X missiles and typical JDAMs, Boeing developers said. The now being built F-15X is reported to incorporate a large number of impactful innovations, yet that does not mean it is in any way comparable to a fifth-generation fighter. Its advantage is multifaceted in that it is lower cost and more readily able to be produced than an entirely new system, and it brings previously unavailable warfighting systems to fourth-gen fighters. One interesting question would be to see how an F-15X performs in wargames or mock combat exercises against a Russian or Chinese-like fifth-gen aircraft. Making a virtue of necessity, the Air Force also argued that the X saves money over buying the F-35, setting aside the differences in their capability. Utilizing a different airframe that is currently in production would require a cost-prohibitive and time-consuming effort to replace the existing F-15 air combat infrastructure, the Air Force said in the justification. Indeed, the USAF estimates that refreshing the F-15C/D fleet with F-15EXs will save USAF $3 billion over the FYDP, Future Years Defense Program, compared to replacing the fleet with F-35s, by avoiding significant transition costs required for a new aircraft, i.e., MILCON, aircraft unique facilities, operator and maintenance transitions costs. The Air Force is also pursuing the next-generation air dominance airplane, and the uninhabited low-cost attritable aircraft program, expected to yield operational air combat assets in the 2030 and 2026 timeframe, respectively.